Hey tubies, it's Erriender here, substituting for the lovely Waide ruin, and I'll be bringing you your Thursday spot here on Pagan Perspective. This week we will be talking about our definitions of hard and soft polytheism and the difference between soft polytheism and monotheism. Now we're quite late in the week at the moment, so we've already had the dictionary definitions mentioned at the start of the week, so if you're unsure about the differences between soft and hard polytheism and monotheism and polytheism, you can go and look that up. But the main distinction, of course, being poly meaning many and mono meaning singular. So polytheism is the belief and worship of many gods or many forms of deity, and monotheism being the belief and worship in one main deity. So I think from watching the other videos this week, the main thing that we have learned is that monotheism and polytheism are not two separate and distinct categories, but rather a spectra of where people can align themselves on this scale and therefore help understand themselves and understand where their own spirituality lies, and to better communicate this to others who are interested in their path. So when the subs started up, we mentioned a few things about our own personal beliefs and our own spirituality, and I mentioned that I follow a god and a goddess, and that I believe in them in their own distinct rights, but at the same time I believe that they came from the same source of divine energy which exists in all things. So therefore you would probably class me as a soft polytheist, because although I have these two distinct separate energies, they are also from a singular force, which would be monotheism. So the slight deviation there would bring it just into the soft polytheism category. If you ask people to define their religions, especially if you asked a Wiccan, they would say definitely polytheism. That's one of the main criteria for being Wicca, is that you're polytheist, that you believe in the god and the goddess as defined by one of the few outstanding Wiccan rules. If you were pagan in general and you weren't into a niche criteria such as Wicca, you may be able to have much more leeway with your spirituality. You may only follow one form of deity and therefore be monotheistic. However, for most pagans they are actually polytheistic. I was mentioning that there's the difference between the two kinds of polytheism. One is that you believe that there are actually many gods, many goddesses, so that you can call upon many of them during your ritual, whereas for me that just wouldn't work, because I believe that there is one source of goddess energy, one source of god energy, and we give these aspects of deity further aspects that are known as archetypes, such as specific names from specific cultures, like Aphrodite or Diana, different names like this that are associated with a specific type of energy attributed to the goddess. So it would sort of come down in a pyramid, really, where there would be the source of divine energy at the top of the pyramid. That splits then and becomes the god and the goddess, and the god and the goddess split into all of their many existing archetypes that we can use to help us gain a personal relationship with deity. However, again, that is my point of view, as is quite strongly used in the Wiccan point of view. But some Wiccans and most of the pagans will have a harder type of polytheism, in that they believe that all these gods and goddesses are at the top of the pyramid, and it doesn't actually refine any higher than that, so that there is no higher power, that the gods and the goddesses are the ultimate source of energy, that they are distinct individual beings in their own right, and therefore that is why many can be used in a ritual. So really it is one's personal choice, that you have to decide for yourself how you best relate to deity. Do you believe in the one source point of view, in that God and Goddess are ways of accessing this higher source of energy, or do you believe that they are distinct beings in their own right, that we have given form through various histories and cultures, that they have been formed through different people's descriptions and ideals of what a god or a goddess should be and should be characterised as? So I really do think it's much more of a case of seeing it on a scale, rather than, yes, this person is definitely a polytheist, yes, this person is definitely monotheist, because you have this hard and soft range that didn't exist many years ago, because book religions have very specific definitions for what one should believe in order to fit into that faith. And many Abrahamic religions obviously are monotheistic, and as such they have a much more clear definition. They either are of that religion or they are not. Whereas when you branch into the paganism and the Wicca, you are polytheistic, but you also might be monotheistic, and that is why we have to come up with this more like ranking system, so to speak, of hard and soft polytheism to best describe, really. But as Eric mentioned yesterday, it's really something that's best used to help you understand your own personal beliefs and to help you better communicate those to people who are interested and when having conversations with other people. So to me, no, it doesn't make a difference whether somebody calls themselves a soft or a hard theist, because polytheism will always be polytheism to me and monotheism will always be monotheism. I don't think you can get varying forms of monotheism, because I think soft polytheism would be as close to monotheism as you could get. Monotheism really doesn't leave much room for variation. But then again, when I mention that, you know, Christianity has Christ and the Holy Spirit as well. So are they three distinct aspects, or are they all part of the one being? Who can say where that would fit into on the grand scale of polytheism and monotheism? So I hope you've enjoyed my topic today, and may you all blessed be.